A few years ago, the loudest advice in business sounded something like this. Wake up at 5 a.m., grind 16 hours a day, sacrifice weekends, and repeat until success shows up. The message was everywhere. Social media glorified the entrepreneur who never sleeps. Coffee became a personality trait. Burnout was almost treated like a badge of honor. But something strange has started happening recently. Some of the smartest entrepreneurs, founders, creators, and business leaders are quietly stepping away from hustle culture. Not because they became lazy, not because they lost ambition, but because they discovered something more powerful: slow productivity. And surprisingly, science is backing it up. For years, the assumption was simple: the more hours you work, the more successful you'll become. It sounds logical, but research in productivity and cognitive science paints a very different picture. Human brains simply aren't designed for endless output. Studies on deep work show that most people can only produce truly high-quality, creative work for about 3 to 5 hours per day. After that, mental clarity drops, decision-making gets worse, and mistakes multiply. In other words, those marathon 14-hour workdays, they often create the illusion of productivity rather than real progress. Think about it. When you're exhausted, you respond to emails slower, struggle to focus, and spend more time fixing problems that probably wouldn't exist if you were thinking clearly in the first place. The result is a cycle many entrepreneurs know too well. Work more, feel drained, work even more to compensate, and slowly burn out. But a growing number of founders are rejecting this cycle entirely. Instead of chasing constant hustle, they're structuring their work around energy, focus, and deliberate progress. This is the philosophy behind slow productivity. The idea is simple but radical in today's business culture. Do fewer things, but do them extremely well. Rather than filling every hour with meetings, notifications, and endless tasks, slow productivity prioritizes deep thinking, creative problem-solving, and intentional work. And ironically, it often leads to faster results. Take the example of many successful tech founders and creators who now design their schedules around focused blocks of work. Instead of working non-stop, they protect quiet time for thinking, strategy, and building meaningful projects. Because the truth is, most breakthrough ideas don't appear while rushing through a to-do list. They appear when the mind has space, when you're walking, reflecting, or stepping away from constant stimulation. This is why some of history's most innovative thinkers had surprisingly relaxed routines. They took long walks, they spent time reading, they worked in concentrated bursts rather than endless marathons. What looked like less work on the surface was actually smarter work underneath. And today's entrepreneurs are rediscovering that principle. In fact, productivity researchers often describe modern hustle culture as a form of pseudo-productivity, the constant appearance of being busy without producing meaningful results. Endless Slack messages, back-to-back Zoom calls, checking email every few minutes. It feels like work, but it rarely moves the needle. Slow productivity flips that mindset. Instead of asking, "How much can I get done today?" it asks a different question: what work actually matters? And once you identify the work that truly drives progress, everything else becomes optional. That's when entrepreneurs start protecting their time differently. They schedule fewer meetings. They ignore distractions. They focus deeply on one important project rather than 10 scattered tasks. And over time, something surprising happens. Their businesses grow faster. Their creativity improves. And perhaps most importantly, they stop feeling constantly exhausted. Because the real secret many successful entrepreneurs are learning is this: productivity isn't about speed, it's about direction. And when your energy is focused on the right things, even a few hours of deep work can outperform an entire day of frantic hustle. But slow productivity isn't just about working fewer hours. There's a deeper psychological shift happening, one that completely changes how entrepreneurs think about success, ambition, and time itself. That psychological shift starts with a simple realization many entrepreneurs reach after years of grinding. Constant hustle doesn't just drain your energy, it slowly damages your ability to think clearly. When every day feels like a race, your brain stays in a permanent state of urgency. Notifications, deadlines, meetings, and pressure keep your nervous system switched on like an alarm that never turns off. At first, it feels productive, but over time, something important begins to disappear: deep thinking. And for entrepreneurs, deep thinking is everything. The biggest breakthroughs in business rarely come from moving faster than everyone else. They come from seeing things differently, spotting opportunities others miss, solving problems in ways nobody else has considered. That type of thinking requires space, silence, time without pressure. Neuroscientists often talk about something called the brain's default mode network. This is the part of the brain that becomes active when you're not intensely focused on a task. It turns on when you're walking, resting, showering, or simply letting your mind wander. And interestingly, this is when creative insights tend to appear. Your brain starts connecting ideas in the background. Problems that felt impossible suddenly become clearer. That's why so many entrepreneurs report getting their best ideas in the shower or during a walk. But hustle culture accidentally destroys this process. When every spare minute is filled with tasks, your brain never gets the downtime it needs to process ideas. Slow productivity protects that space. Smart entrepreneurs are starting to design their schedules with intention. Instead of treating rest as wasted time, they treat it as part of the creative process. Some founders now schedule thinking days with no meetings at all. Others work in short, focused blocks and then step away completely to recharge. And surprisingly, their output often improves dramatically. Because when your mind is rested, decisions become clearer. You notice patterns faster. You solve problems with less effort. In other words, working less frantically allows you to work more intelligently. Another reason many entrepreneurs are abandoning hustle culture is sustainability. A business isn't built in a month. It's built over years, sometimes decades. Running at maximum intensity every single day simply isn't sustainable for that long. Burnout eventually catches up with even the most ambitious founders. And when burnout hits, it doesn't just affect work. It affects relationships, health, creativity, motivation. That's why the new generation of entrepreneurs is redefining what ambition looks like. Instead of chasing non-stop busyness, they're focusing on longevity. They want to build companies that grow steadily without destroying their energy or their lives in the process. Ironically, this slower approach often creates stronger businesses. When founders aren't constantly exhausted, they make better strategic decisions. They build healthier teams. They focus on long-term impact rather than short-term noise. And over time, that difference compounds. The hustle mindset says success belongs to the person who works the hardest every single day. But slow productivity suggests something more interesting. Success often belongs to the person who can think the clearest, the one who knows when to push forward and when to step back. Because real productivity isn't about filling every hour. It's about investing your energy where it matters most. So the next time hustle culture tells you that success requires endless grinding, remember this. Some of the smartest entrepreneurs in the world are quietly doing the opposite. They're slowing down, focusing deeper, protecting their time, and building extraordinary results without burning themselves out. If you found this perspective interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more ideas that challenge the way we think about productivity, success, and the future of work.